We've been talking for about 7 segments so far about transformational giving and databases. And it's time to summarize what we've learned and lay out a map for how to begin. What we've said is that you probably don't have a database problem, no matter what software you're using. You have a data problem because you're not tracking all of the things that God needs you to track to be able to grow your champion to full maturity in the cause. You probably have financial information, but you don't have any other information. We talked about how that information that you need to gather is information that identifies every transformational experience that the champion has had where their perspective or their actions were changed as a result of some kind of an episode or event or project that they participated in. We said that rather than sitting and brainstorming out what these might be, you're going to go through your own story and write out and identify what those steps were for you. And you're going to talk to your board, maybe other executive directors who are in organizations with your same cause, and your most mature champions. You're going to take and turn those into yes/no statements that you can track in your database through customizable fields that might be flags or might be just data fields that you can either make on or off, however it is that your database does these things. You're then going to develop a campaign of calling and training your board members and key champions to call all of the other champions that you have to gather all of the data of the things that they've already done in relation to the cause. And then your development program is going to be the discernment of what's the next step in each case for them to grow. Now, when you do database work like this, you're going to note that dividing your champions into regular, middle, and major doesn't make any sense anymore. You might have that kind of division at Burger King if you're going to supersize your meal or something like that. But in the Bible, James says that it is favoritism and thus sin when we track people according to their wealth and their potential giving. Instead, we're going to track people the way that God does, according to their readiness to grow. So when you redo your database, you're going to track people according to who's at the participation stage, who's at the engagement stage, who's at the ownership stage. That's then your development strategy. So now you've got your map for where you're going to go. And if there were other terms in this series that we talked about, like participation, engagement, ownership, champion, and so forth, that are confusing to you, I want you to go to my blog, ericfoley.com, and type it in on the search portion of the blog to be able to look that term up and find out what it means. And also watch for future videos in the series. Or send me a quick comment on these YouTube videos or on my blog to ask any questions you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, remember, if your data matches God's data, your purposes are going to match God's purposes, and God is going to be glorified. Thanks for watching the series.